Come on, get on with it. Cool. Okay. Yeah. Nexus Modern Sorcery Playtest 1. I mean, it's PBTA. Generally, I know it'll work. I just want to try and figure out what to tweak in order to get people interested and excited about the game and stuff, because I don't want to release a game and then 6 months down the track it's forgotten. I want people to still play it in a year's time or 3 years' time or whatever. I've had chats with Jason Petrie and Vincent Baker about it, and yeah, I'm trying to approach this one cautiously and hopefully successfully. Okay. You both have access to the character sheet from the looks of it? Yep. Okay. So yeah, modern day sorcerers. The general presumption is you're 20 to 40 modern day people, and you know how to use your magic. You've been to the other worlds and stuff. The premise. Let's see if I can see how chat mangles this text for your group. Is one of these. I did shit. I'll do them one at a time. Damn it. That one. Oh.
Just to start from scratch, right? Like, we're assuming this is a playtest, right? So let's go from the starting point. So like the premise
or queries about anything?
I just want to like give my idea of what it is and see if that lines up with what you thought, right? Because I struggle a bit with like the amount of lore that's suggested in there versus kind of like what's implied and what's open, like it's all.
Yep.
So we are
That's
sorcerers who are essentially humans who have some sort of magical aptitude. Is that right?
Yes.
And in the world of Nexus, there are it's like a sort of like Norse kind of tree of lifey sort of thing with the multiple worlds in existence around of each other, like 5 worlds defined by the text, right?
No.
Okay, because it says exploring the 5 hidden worlds and changing people's lives is why I believe it's 5 hidden worlds.
Yeah. It's been updated since then. There's multiple other worlds, and at the base level, I'm just going to provide like 2.
Okay.
And they're sort of linked by the Dreamlands, which is like the astral plane or whatever.
Okay.
There's options to add other worlds later, but if you guys decide, we just like playing in the dream worlds, we don't really care about the other worlds, that's fine. It's for each group to sort out, but yeah.
Okay, so Earth is like the nexus, as it were, of these multiple other worlds.
No, it's probably more accurate to say the Dreamland's the nexus.
The Dreamland's
all
the
of
nexus
them can go.
Well.
Yeah.
But the basic starting point for us is the modern day contemporary Earth.
Yes,
right?
yes. You were born on Earth. You went to school. And then at some point you found out about magic, and you know how to use your magical abilities.
Okay. And then we can go to the Dreamlands and go somewhere else where it's exciting. Nice. Okay.
We're kind of a bit like Lovecraftian dreamers, but in one body rather than having a separate self.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Okay.
There are options for if you want to do the whole, we're still finding out about the other worlds and all that, but that's an optional rule. The default is you already know how to use your abilities. You've already been to the other worlds.
Okay. And you travel via the Dreamlands to the other worlds, right? Is that
you can either go through teleport to the Dreamlands and then go through another portal or whatever, or you can just go straight there. If whoever's got the teleport ability decides they've got the coordinates to somewhere on one of the other worlds.
Okay.
But it is like Rivers of London and Dresden and all that in that, there's werewolves and vampires and other sorcerers and all of that. But on Earth, you might have a car and an apartment and a Heckler and Koch machine gun or whatever.
Yeah. I'd say that the thing is that in Rivers of London, they get $6 to walk Peter Grant through the world of the magic, whereas as it starts off, he's just like, think with your mind, kind of. You don't get any, you know what I mean? Okay. And in other worlds, you might have a different eyes and colors, and you might manifest different physical traits in other worlds, but you're still the same person in the real world. Okay, cool. Well, that makes sense to me now. So sorry for holding us up there. I just thought it'd be good to get
no. Initially, I did
the
say
pitch kind of stuff.
There's sort of 5 worlds in that, but I'm like, maybe I should rein that in a bit because some people, don't go into games reading a lot of the lore. They just need it simple. So
I think it's more that the more of the lore you define, then the more of it sort of keeps pointing at each other. You know what I mean? Like you don't know where the limits are of the lore, kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then the group, you decide your sort of group hook, which is the 3 things I put in chat.
Okay. So see, I guess it's stuff like Nexus is our job. So to me, the name Nexus implies that we it's like naming the game Delta Green, right? Like you work for Delta Green.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that would probably be the company Cabal option.
Well, that's what I mean. It would be the company Cabal option, but it confuses me that it's the company Cabal option isn't kind of like the default. It's one of 4 different choices, and the rest of it's kind of like.
Okay.
See what I mean? It'd be odd to me to start a game with Delta Green and actually you're playing for the Germans or whatever, right? Like.
Yeah.
And like it doesn't seem as though Nexus is really defined more than just like it's a kind of corporation that explores the magical world.
Yeah, but I mean, you guys could decide the planet version 2 option where you're environmentalists and you're looking for a better planet or stuff from other planets to help Earth. In that case, you don't work for Nexus, but a Nexus is also like a magical zone that you can attune and do magical shit with.
Well, what I would suggest is that perhaps it'd be just in the spirit of this whole playtesting thing, just to make it easier to digest and easier to sort of comprehend and everything, would be that it'd be better to sort of think of to have as Nexus is whichever of these things that you choose Nexus to be within the context of your game. So like Nexus is a corporation that troubleshoots things, or Nexus is a secretive scientific operation that seeks to exploit the New Worlds, or Nexus is a group of humanitarian rescuers that travels the Dreamlands looking to help people. Rather than, because it also like Planet version 2.0 that makes me be like, so is it like because my understanding is that magic is kind of like a secretive hidden world
most
thing,
people
like
don't
it
know
isn't.
about it on
Earth.
Yeah.
So but then like when you have like a team of explorers and scientists exploiting and everything, it becomes a bit more like a kind of brave, like gold rushy sort of situation where people are trying to. It's like how are you exploiting those things for Earth if you can't tell anybody about it?
Yeah.
Whereas like if you make Nexus the thing, it could be whatever your raison d'etre is like what's the raison d'etre of Nexus, the organization.
Yeah.
I just think it makes it less.
Also, I changed it from just Nexus to Nexus Modern Sorcery, so the label's on the tin more sort of thing.
Yeah. But again, I still think it's just the overlapping of the words. You know what I mean? Like either name it the organization something else entirely, or embrace it fully and make it part of like the whole conceit of the game. Is that like you work for an organization, and then part of like Cabal creation almost is that's your like super Cabal kind of thing. It's what your Cabal falls under, sort of thing.
Yeah.
So because again, I just
regardless, you work for the Nexus organization, but your Cabal's direction is rescuers, planet, whatever.
Oh, that's the Nexus organization's direction in total.
Oh,
right?
yeah, okay. So you're choosing the overall thing as part of your group. And yeah.
Because otherwise you belong to a wider organization. But what does that actually mean for you, right? Like wider organizations, to me, their main purpose is to give you purpose.
Ideally.
Yeah. Or an enemy, right? Like that's the big one. And I like the factions, I think, are easier to understand as like external entities rather than like what you're directly affiliated with.
Yeah.
But I think the tricky thing with a lot of like the supernatural and the mundane stuff is that like when they start to overlap, you do start to have to define like where they overlap a bit more, right? Like in the world of darkness, there's page upon bloody page of the Camarilla and whatever, right? And then the more organized something is, the more of a presence it kind of has.
Yeah.
So like the fairy come from the Fae plane,
Well,
I
the
guess.
Dreamlands.
The Dreamlands. The fairy are native to the Dreamlands. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I don't have the fairy courts because that's been done to death, but I still want them in the Dreamlands because you don't want to remove them too much.
Yeah. I like that. The fairy being in the Dreamlands. I mean, that would be a good starting point, I think, for like the fairy, you know? The fairy are the residents of the Dreamlands, and so are found across all of the different worlds in some shape or form or whatever, right? Like
I made them like agents of change, so that if something weird's going on in your life, they might stage an intervention if they're your friend or whatever. But they're also ones that see change as essential, so that if you don't need an intervention, they'll set up a situation so that you need one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense.
Interfering pains in the ass.
Yeah. I'll stop. We can go through the actual rules and stuff. I'll try and, like, I was saying, I was reading through and like making notes and things. Like, I'll try and give you something.
Yeah, what you said on Slack made no sense at all. So open your notes.
Oh well, no, I mean,
what?
I don't understand what you mean by the zodiac system, how that comes into play. Are we saying that like we define the month of the game that we're playing in? Is it the different month in different places? The system of the Nexus stuff it's too specific in places and too vague in other places for me to make a cohesive worldview of it.
Okay,
is what I'm saying.
No, that's cool. That's something I can work on.
Something, but it makes a little bit more sense having just gone through the top-down pitch with you right now, for example.
Sabina, I'm happy for you to play, but if you need to go, you need to go. That's
I hope I won't have to go, but I'm not sure. I've had a stomach bug Wednesday to Thursday, and that was fine. And just right now when we started up again, so I don't know. I've taken some stuff, so hopefully it will work. If not, I have to run.
Sometimes it just like leaves you fragile, doesn't it, for prone to the next few days kind of stuff.
I don't know what's going on right now. I can't have this now. So
no. Okay.
So where are we right now? We're still defining things.
Me and Blake were just talking about the overall pitch some more and everything.
Okay.
But I think we boil it down to I mean, I think out of those 3 pitches for the thing, Company Cabal, no, I quite like Planet V2, Explorers and Scientists.
You're either looking for a better Earth or stuff from other planets you can use to help Earth. But because I didn't want general investigators, because that's been done in dozens of modern supernatural games. I'm like, it's too open, and I don't want people to rock up with the same default mode of playing. They should think about what their group is, what they're doing in that.
I like Company Cabal. I will complain about having an Audi all the time.
Let's go for Company Cabal then.
I mean, it's not a fancy kind of car, right?
Well, it's the latest Audi, but if you say you got an older one because you joined 10 years ago or something, go for it.
I mean, it's even the latest Audi. Good. My friend had a budgie called Audi, so UK, she had another budgie called BMW.
Well, it was also part of the I wanted a bit more European based rather than everything set in America, because again that gets done to death in role playing games as well. So okay.
Yes, Europe is very exotic to us.
Well, yeah, I don't know.
No, it's fine. I'm sorry. I like it, actually. I like it. Because the US, of course, the US is very exotic in a way to me that it's almost a fantasy realm. Because Hollywood US especially is, it's kind of place where you can get bonked on the head and don't have a concussion afterwards.
Okay. I guess we could choose playbooks. I've got 3 in the character maker thing: Exarch, Harlequin, and Marauder. Pick one.
Will you pitch us what they actually are?
Let's have a look. So,
what's the difference basically? Why would I want to be an Exarch and not?
Harlequins start with a familiar. Marauders start with teleport, so the ability to just teleport around. But it's not teleport to anywhere, it's teleport to somewhere you've got coordinates for. If you say, I've got coordinates for this place in the Dreamlands, I'll say, cool, what happened there last time you were there? And what's only 2 showing? Oh, and Exarch is Sanctuary, so you've got like a magical base.
I'm sorry. It's just, yeah. Okay, so, but that's the main difference, that they have different sorts of
just
power
different choices
thingies.
for moves and stuff.
Okay. But is there, like, usually you have the playbooks and then you have like examples who could be that from other media, or at least a cool quote, what an Exarch would say in contrast to a Harlequin. And I mean,
no, I don't have that.
Okay.
That's something I can put in.
Yeah, because I think people used to these kinds of splat books, they kind of expect that there is some sort of different worldview for each of them, because I think that came from Vampire the Masquerade. They started out with splat books with these things that you have, and that are typical. Like, what is a typical Exarch in contrast to a typical Harlequin? And then you can make a totally different Harlequin, but you know that you are deviating from what's expected.
It's like the page in Monster of the Week or whatever, where it says like, here is the crooked, the chosen, the whatever, right? And it lists them all, and then there's just a sentence next to each of them to say that, like,
okay.
Yeah.
God, I can't paste for shit today. Okay, Harlequin.
Which I don't see in the quick start any explanation of what these books do, actually.
Yeah, they have magic moves, but
they have magic moves feature.
But that's not doesn't give me a clear idea what their deal is. And I'm sorry, I have to run again. I'm sorry.
Yeah, this is kind of what I thought I would be tweaking, not the mechanics as much as how the information's presented and categorized and stuff.
Yeah.
Bugger.
I like the art.
Yeah, it's not too shabby. It's just, if I got some quotes to commission some art, but it's like, it works out to 300 a piece Australian. It's, if I want 20 bits of art, that's a fucking lot of money, which I don't have, so.
It is.
Whereas the stock art I've got is like $5 to $10 each, which is, it's not top notch, but it's better than some of the shit that's out there.
I think it's pretty good.
And I really enjoyed Urban Shadows, but the art in the first edition's garbage. It's like, this
Yeah,
is
I
not
agree with
good.
you. Yeah.
It's the quality of the game is not matched by the quality of the artwork. But obviously, even just looking at the quick start for the second edition, oh, this is beautiful. They've obviously,
Well, they got a shitload of money for that, didn't they?
yeah.
Yeah. I really like the Rescuers as a hook for them, right? But I do think
Well, you can't kind of get away from climate change in the media recently, so it's like, well, at least you can kind of deal with that concern in some way.
isn't that Planet 2.0 though?
Yeah.
Climate
Oh,
change.
sorry, Rescuers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the
quite a
idea of
few-
being like what were they called? The Rescuers, you know, that Aussie cartoon
Oh, yeah,
with
yeah,
the mice.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of anime where the whole thing is rescue your twin or your brother or sister or whatever.
Yeah.
And
I
everyone
just
else is
find it's
friends
like
of that person.
yeah, it just lends to the protagonist problem though.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, who's the protagonist in a normal RPG game? We're all protagonists, right? Whereas in those animes, one of them is a protagonist, and it's the person that the rest of them are the friend of. They're all supporting characters to the person looking for their lost family member, more or less.
Yeah, I suppose.
You know what I mean? It's the Buffy problem of Buffy's the main character. Like, I just think the way that it's phrased, it's like you're an association. Like, unlike the other ones, like you're not an organization. You're just a loose association of people who accidentally almost came to one of the worlds in a shared dream. I mean, I'm also not clear. Like, you go via the dreamlands, but you do travel physically, right? Like, you don't just dream the whole thing. Yeah. So, like,
I just wanted a more evocative name than calling it the astral plane because.
Well, I only say that because of the your group came to one of the other worlds in a shared dream, which sort of implies that, like, accidentally, sort of like you didn't know, you used your powers unknowingly and you arrived there, and then you know.
There's another group hook which is We're the Band, where basically you're a musician band on a tour and then you come across some supernatural shit. So instead of like the supernatural show where you're lying and stealing and stuff as you're fighting monsters, you guys are on a musical tour, but you also do magical shit, which could also be replaced by ballet troupe or, you know, acting troupe or whatever. But which means there's 4 hooks, but I might merge 2 of them because I realize that they might need some tweaking.
Like, I don't fully see I mean, I know there's not a group hook for the company Cabal for the Nexus, organization in the quick start at the moment, but I think it kind of lines up with a team of people looking to exploit the other worlds, because it's a company, right? Companies do things for profit, essentially.
I didn't want like an official stamp on colonialism either. It was supposed to be you're in it because you want to help Earth, not necessarily at the expense of another world. Or it could be you're going to migrate people over to the other world because Earth's fucked.
Yeah.
I didn't.
But if you're going to move people to a new Earth, then you're going to have to touch upon colonialism, aren't you?
Yeah, I guess one of the influences on the game is Stargate.
Yeah,
and that's part of that thing. You can't just run around taking what you want. You got to interact and stuff.
Yeah, but SG-1 is a U.S. military operation, right?
Yeah.
And again, provides the structure and the purpose for the whole show's dynamics and plot. I wonder if Blades, like the crew sheets.
Yeah.
Because they change quite significantly. You're all scoundrels, right? Like running around in Duskfall or whatever. But depending on your crew type, it does quite change your sort of approach to.
Yeah.
Like
with each of the group hooks, there's additional EXP things.
Options, yeah. Because ultimately you're all people who are exploring. You're all sorcerers exploring the new worlds. I think it needs a bit more to be like. It's almost like I almost think that maybe they're better off being thought in like campaign frames. you know, here is this setting, and your company is protecting Earth from extra-dimensional incursions, done to death, obviously, I know, but or it's you are intergalactic. Well, I guess I don't know where the Nexus organization by the default one changes from that kind of investigation thing, but like the Planet version 2.0 is a very clear kind of like you're trying to save the world using this magic that no one can know about kind of thing. And why can no one know about it? You know?
Yeah.
If you were going to save the world with magic, wouldn't you tell everyone about it?
Maybe it might cause panic and religious fervor and all sorts of shit. But I guess
why doesn't anyone tell anyone about it?
Yeah, I guess I wanted solid group hooks rather than you just general investigators, because it is too friggin' open.
Yeah, entirely, yeah.
And it's, but I get what you mean. I do need to have it better defined than that. It's
I think they just need to be a bit focused in what they are, you know, and then like make it part of the game. I didn't want it
like a itch game where it's super niche of you are this family fighting this creature on this night and that's it. But I didn't want at the other end. I didn't want to like Mage the Ascension where it's just you can do anything in this freaking game. I was aiming for something a bit more in the middle. So.
But you usually end up fighting the technocracy, right, in Mage?
Yeah, because they're the ones with their shit together. Everyone else is
exactly, yeah.
Not.
Anyway, I think I'm going to go for the Marauder just because I like the idea of teleporting.
Okay.
You doing all right, Sabine?
Yeah, I'm trying. I mean, I can't speak to the future right now. Ooh. I think I'm going with Exarch just because I like the word Exarch. I'm an Exarch. You're not.
Okay, I see. And if we look on the playbook and we can copy and paste moves across.
Yeah, you just got to kind of copy it in the function area because Excel online is joyful.
Yeah. Where would But with that in mind, I start the game with teleport and 2 playbook moves.
Mm-hmm.
Where in the character keeper at the moment would I put teleport?
Don't put teleport up there. Just leave that on your tab basically.
I'm going to put it below my thing because otherwise I'll never remember or look at how it works. You know.
Yeah, it's I did have to sort of look at how much I'm giving the characters because you got to display it for online games, but you also got to have it on a neat sort of character sheet as well.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't want too much because there were like World of Darkness book character sheets that were 4 pages, and I'm like, that's a bit much.
Yeah, I just
I'm not up to scratch as the between play sheet, which does half of it for you. That's bloody magical. It's like shit. I can't do that.
I actually don't really like play sheets that get 2 down the whole drop down menu and everything.
Yeah, but the between play sheet it's magical. It just you don't even have to look at anything else but the play sheet if you're creating a character and have never done it before. Just point and click.
Fair.
And by the end you have a really awesome character.
I haven't played the between yet.
I've played 16 sessions of it. Yeah, went to some dark places in that frigging game.
Oh yeah, can't imagine. Do I want to breathe underwater? No, I don't want to breathe underwater. Can I say that there is a lot of underwater stuff here, and I don't think that might be all that useful actually, because if you only have one character who's good underwater, it probably won't be able to do a lot of stuff underwater while the others are not underwater. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Cool.
Is that the kind of feedback you're looking for?
Yeah,
or should
any
okay.
thoughts or anything is useful. I can look at it and Okay.
Okay.
Well, there's something. How do you feel about Vice and Virtual? The reason they're there is because I would just wanted just something to help sort of define what your character is like. But now I'm sort of wondering, does it come across as judgmental?
I guess there's, I don't know. I don't think it comes across necessarily as judgmental. Other than the fact that it is a game that alludes to a kind of metaphysical aspect to your personality traits, right? So that, like,
Yeah.
lust, for example, is the one that obviously usually stands out at me, because in the modern world, I mean, who cares about lust as a vice, right? Like, all the rest of them, you're a dick. But if you're a bit horny, no one cares. So
Yeah, and if you are a dick about lust, that is going to go to very creepy places.
yeah, but
It's X-card territory.
I would even say that when you're a dick about lust, it's more that it's just greed and wrath and gluttony and all the other vices. You know what I mean? Lust is just kind of Puritan, really.
I did say in there that it doesn't have to be physical acts. Like, you might write fan fiction about anime where you're shipping everybody. That might be your outlet for lust. It doesn't have to be you shag everything that moves. Because that's just creepy.
Yeah, I like the idea of virtues and vices, like maybe flaws and whatever the opposite of a flaw would be, virtues and flaws, maybe
merits.
Virtues and flaws and merits, right? Like, I like that idea.
I don't know if combining charity with pride is a good idea. That is very, like, I mean, I'm helping you. Sure.
All right, Bill Gates.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
The more I learn about Bill Gates, the more I learn that is definitely the type of charity that he does.
I know people were going on about Elon Musk saying, he's donated 150 million to charity. I was like, yeah, but that's like 2 days' pay for him.
He said he was going to pay all of his taxes, and then he wheeled out of it.
Yeah, bullshit. All right. Anyway, all right. So virtue and vice aren't terrible, but it's just something.
Okay. Focused.
And with your cabal, it's generally a group of like 6 to 12 people. So that's why with your cabal section, you sort of work out 2 events, and that way, if there's only 3 of you, you can just go, we'll just work out the first one, and then we'll leave the other one spare until other people join in or whatever. Because I wanted some sort of shared history, but not one bond per 2 characters, because then you just have a huge list.
Oops. I cannot wrap my head around that, but that might be because I was choosing attributes. So can you maybe rephrase that? How's that supposed to go in a game? We have a problem. Let's say, Will and I, we have problem A. Now there are obviously some other players, and we call them all Steven because that's a very common name. Only one of the Stevens is also named Dave. And sorry if this is confusing, but
No. So you have a problem. You have a cabal. Your group, your group of sorcerers is a cabal of 6 to 12 people.
Okay, let's say we have a cabal of 6, and 2 of them are Will and me, and 4 Steve, and 3 Steves, and a David.
Dave, yep.
No one likes Dave.
All right, but for the sake of speed of play, you would just do like the first question for your cabal section to choose an event that you were all present for.
Yeah, but they are not. Are they all player characters, or are some of them NPCs?
No.
Okay.
Well, it depends. If you're running a campaign of it and there's lots of players coming in and out, then you can make them all players.
Okay. But that would not usually be the case. Usually you'd have, I say, 3 players,
NPCs,
and the rest are NPCs.
A bit like a Blades crew, then. Like you have you have your PCs, and then you have supporting characters, right?
Yeah. And like an Exarch has a sanctuary, and you might say, me and Dave, we share a sanctuary. So if I'm away, Dave's still guarding the sanctuary. That's fine.
That's okay. Okay. I have my Dave. I have a Dave now. Okay.
I mean, I like the idea of one bond or one event between each 2 sets of characters, but logistically and presenting it on a sheet is a pain in the bum. So I'm like, let's just have 2 events for the Cabal and leave it at that.
Yeah, I was just thinking back again to Blades and thinking that like the crew sheet does a lot of the work for the group kind of thing, you know, like you have your player sheet and then you have the crew sheet, and it's the place where everyone's stuff goes. Well, I've chosen my moves. I will choose my magic moves.
I'd like a better name for that at some point, because people always think of Magic Mike. It's like, oh, God damn it. That is not what this game's about.
Yeah, I mean, you could call it just Arcana or something, right? Like, doesn't need to have the moves name next to it. They are moves, but
something.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. I want to be able to heal people. It seems useful. Maybe. Who knows? Because if you're healing people, then they will tell you things, right?
Oh, so let's do the first question on your Cabal, which probably needs another name as well, come to think of it. All right,
Okay,
so
where do we find
under
that?
magic moves, there's your Cabal. With some pull down lists. So your Cabal worked with either fairy, humans, shapeshifters, or undead. By shapeshifters, I mean lycanthropes.
I can't find it. I'm sorry.
Row,
Which tab is it?
row 25 on the first tab. On your characters tab.
Yeah, okay. Okay,
just under
that
where
was...
you put healing, right under there.
Yeah. If you have the quick start...
your Cabal worked with using against... I remember you did...
Pull down this.
Yeah. Yeah, I like this one on what was the Season of Dreams game?
Yeah.
If you have the quick start, it's page 5 as well.
Okay.
Like for the full description.
Ooh, can we have work with the undead?
Yeah. Cool. Traditionally, a good group of people to work with. Oh yeah, wow. Okay.
Solid work ethic. They're very committed.
I mean, maybe they weren't like evil vampires. Could have been mummies or something, or maybe just some skeletons guarding something.
Could have been nice vampires.
Yeah, or could have been nice vampires or sexy vampires. They don't sparkle in the sun, or do they?
Or do they?
Can we do a magic so they sparkle in the sun? Whether they want that or not, just.
So we worked with undead using deception, favors, reason, or violence.
Yeah, maybe you tricked them into it. Maybe they tricked you into it. Maybe you reasoned with them.
So against somebody in particular.
It was against thing. Against is very humans on Ninazu.
What's a Ninazu?
Ninazu are like scorpion folk. I mean, you could have worked with undead against undead. You could have tricked some undead into wiping out some other undead.
Yeah, that seems like vampires do that a lot, right?
Well, we didn't deception. We used reason against undead. So I'm imagining that we Perhaps.
I mean, maybe there were some cultists that used to worship undead, but you got them to see reason and stop being cultists, basically.
Perhaps we bartered the freedom of the skeletons from their vampire overlords.
Hmm.
Made them the skeleton union.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, that sounds reasonable. We help them form a union to stand up to their vampire overlords and demand
the
better
vampires were investing
pay.
money in NFTs, and the skeletons weren't comfortable with that, and you helped them out.
The skeletons wanted to get paid and not fucking doubloons for now because that money isn't worth a thing anymore. Wooden pennies and stuff, no.
Yep.
Okay. So I've put our role, union organizer for the skeletons against the vampire lords.
Nice.
Yeah. Now, obviously, that's not in an entire world. It might have just been for a city or a suburb or something. But you stitched up a vampire lord in an area.
Yeah.
Okay.
And if we're doing a longer campaign, we'll go through the second question. But in this case, we don't need to. Yeah. Just at least that gives you something to work with, the sort of people you are.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And that's probably it for now. We can just jump into it. Okay, you're on one of the other worlds. A vampire stole something from your sanctuary. There's a sanctuary. Sabine does. The Exarch does.
Yes. Do I just choose a zodiac? Sorry.
Yes. Yep.
Oh, okay. I'm a fish. No, they're called Pisces. Sorry. It's not a fish. What? It's just Latin for fish.
That tells me how much Ars Magica you've played.
No, it's actually the astrological sign in German is actually fish. So
yeah,
that is.
Yeah, it's a bit weird because like Aquarius, the water bearer is an air sign, and Scorpio is a land creature that's a water sign. And it's like, what were they thinking when they set this shit up?
Yeah, well, it's magic. I could explain. I mean, Sarastras could explain that to you, obviously, but I think we're going to play a game right now, aren't we?
Okay, and your star sign, your zodiac, does have an effect on the game, but it's not like you get +1 to hit fire signs or anything shit like that. It's nothing to do with combat.
How does it affect the game then?
There's when you're doing outdoor adventuring, which is like long distance travel, there's that bit. If you do rituals during your signs month, you get a bonus. There's background questions in between missions that you get unlocked based on what your zodiac is. And if you're tuning a Nexus, which is like a magical place, then yeah, your zodiac sign affects that.
My zodiac's a what? Sorry, I didn't catch the word.
It's a zodiac sign.
Yep.
So there's a material to it as well, right? Like materials that align with zodiac symbols. Yeah. And if you have those, then
yeah, that helps with certain magical roles and certain circumstances.
What time of the year are we playing?
That's a good question. Well, we can.
It's an inevitable question, I think, when you make that the zodiac sign gives you a benefit if you're currently acting in the time of the year that it is.
Right. So maybe I shouldn't have chosen.
Because I'm not defining mine until you tell me what time of the year it is, and then look, I'm going to be that time of the year, right? Like, yeah.
We'll say it's March.
March.
Oh, okay, March. That's good. That's good. Early March, hopefully, because that's Pisces.
Oh look, no, it's an Aries.
Outdoor adventuring.
Yeah, so that's like long distance travel. When you zoom out and we're going to group sort of create an encounter for what happens in your big bit of travel. Then there's modifications to it.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I'll just choose this.
The dungeon world equivalent is perilous. Undertake a perilous journey.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, right.
So you're both Pisces.
What a surprise!
Yeah, I mean that's what links us, right? You know, we're just linked on a spiritual level.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant like links in deodorant. But no, we're classier than that.
Yes.
They always throw us together on these missions because we're both Pisces. That's. I should never have mentioned my birthday, and I never get anything.
I know, and yet they let the Gemini twins do whatever they want.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
Yeah, and they always get gifts. And what did we get? Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
It's always
That's funny
fish
to
and
me
chips.
because one of my brothers and my partner are Geminis, and everyone loves them, and it shits me.
I'll admit that zodiac signs is like for me as a concept, frankly, you know.
Yeah. No, Shane, one of the Gauntlet players in GM, she loves that stuff. And she wanted a playbook per zodiac. And I'm like, I don't know if I want to lean that far into it because that's a lot.
I use the Zodiac to plan out my Ars Magica games just for inspiration to say, okay, this is water sign and
I wanted something kind of mystical,
qualities,
but not, you know.
And that's the adventure now.
I like the D sanction. Sabine, remember that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That zodiac signs and the sort of like weird hodgepodge of all different occultists kind of beliefs, like, you know, divine geometry and all that shit. I liked that sort of like melting pot of hey, my character believes in zodiac signs and therefore it probably has an effect, right? Like
well, it does have an effect in this game. It's only +1, but +1 on 2d6 is a lot. So
+1 is cool.
What is it? 30 days of the year.
It's better than nothing.
But that's only for outdoor adventuring. If you're doing a ritual, you get a bonus, but they take time. And then if you're tuning a Nexus, you get a bonus as well. And it depends. But
okay, I'd need to. Like I say, I really didn't understand how much. I know it depends and everything. I just didn't understand. I just still don't quite what it depends upon, ultimately. You know, and why wouldn't I just keep a rock of adventuring? I think is a cancer rock from when my mum was into all this stuff as a kid. Why wouldn't I keep a rock of adventuring with me all the time? Therefore, getting my bonus to. It seems like it'd be a basic aspect of being a magician would be to carry around your zodiac stone with you.
You probably would. But it doesn't affect your magic moves, but it does for other things like going on seeking quests and rituals and stuff.
Okay.
Because I didn't want it to give a bonus all the time because that's broken.
And also maybe your stone gets used up when you actually do something with it, and then you've carried around your rock of adventuring and now it's dust and your mama gave it to you and she'll probably I don't know
I'm gonna have to go back to the hippie shop and spend another $2, right?
And then you'll find out that the hippie shop is now a Starbucks.
True. We're not playing Reaganomics.
We went to one and I was looking at books on druidism and stuff just to read up on it, and there was a lady in there waving around like an eagle's feather to like cleanse the area, and my other half just lost it. She couldn't stop laughing, and I'm like, I'll just escort you out. It's like, oh dear. It's not for everybody. You put the Audi in your vehicle. It's mine, damn it. It's a Quattro. Okay. So, You're on a wooden bridge.
Oh wow.
And that's between two rock canyons, and it's just collapsed. It's been blown up at one end.
This is in the magical world?
Yeah, you're in one of the magical worlds on a rope bridge that's just been blown up at one end. You
Okay.
can try and use one of your powers. You can try and grab onto the bridge. You can try and run up the bridge. What are you going to do?
How do we do magic? Just,
Well, there's magic.
In your case, under the magic tab, excerpts do writing.
Okay. Okay, but defy writing.
So you're
I see.
doing it on a palette, or you're tracing sigils in the air, or you're writing on a scroll.
Oh, I like that. I like that one. Okay, so can I use my magic to try and keep myself from falling, basically? I mean, if the bridge falls, I don't much care unless that's what I need to do. But I don't want to fall.
I'm not saying any of your moves that would sort of do anything like that. So no, you don't have anything like that.
Okay.
But there is the it's a collapsed bridge. It's a collapsing bridge. It's a broken bridge, right? There's the basic moves of avoid harm or physical or mental task.
Yeah. So you can grab onto the bridge. You can try and run up it. Yeah, because none of your magic needs is going to help with this.
I could teleport us all back to the portal, I suppose.
Yes, you could do that.
I'm not entirely clear. We've entered a portal. We're after a vampire that's stolen something.
Yes.
He's stolen the time cards from the skeleton thing. He's stolen their dental care. Right?
Oh, no.
Lisa needs braces. And
oh wow, that's harsh for skeletons. If they don't have teeth, they are going to look weird.
Exactly, right. And of course, very valuable to the vampires. No wonder they competent. Yeah. So, and this vampire is on the other side of the bridge, and the portal that we came through is on the right side, the side of the bridge that we're currently on. So it'd be pointless to teleport back to it.
So you're going to do teleport, which you don't have to roll for. You can just do it.
But I would just go back to where we came from, right?
Yeah. We don't teleport is the wrong choice here because we're not in immediate danger. We need to cross the bridge, which is collapsing, and we need to
the bridge is blowing up on one side. So
yeah.
You do need to teleport because.
Well, no. But I'm just saying, as we've established, we came in via the portal. I can only teleport 2 portals. The vampire is not at a portal, so unless I know of a portal on the other side of this bridge that I could then circle back from, it'd be.
You probably would have.
Teleport.
Well, it's better than dying.
Well, yeah. But we'll try the we'll try and get across, right? So.
So this would be physical task first. Physical task. Probably reflexes or might.
Is there a dice roller, Blake?
Oh shit! I didn't do that. No. I know if I've got something. It's usually a dice roll. I've got. What the hell? These. I've got this one.
Okay.
Holy crap! I haven't used this for a while. I'm going to get rid of half of these dice.
Have you tried roll for your party?
I think so. I'm not sure.
Oh no, wait! I've got the wrong one. I've got them confused in my head. Ignore me. I've got them mixed up in my head.
There was a shitload of dice. I'm just going to get rid of half of these. Wow. One of the between games I played, someone took new dice every time they rolled, so there was just dice everywhere by the end of the session. I was okay.
I like the name. It's kind of fitting, I think.
Wolf Age.
Yeah, it certainly sounds like something that, like the name of perhaps one of the cabals that we associate with, is the Wolf Age of Exchange Flower Themselves Fellow.
It's an ancient.
That's the shopkeeper where you get your zodiac rock every month.
It sounds better in Latin anyway.
You always say
Maybe.
it sounds better in Latin, Sir Astris.
Everything sounds better in Latin.
Yeah, tell that to Boris Johnson.
I
Bloody
don't
Reese
think
Mob that
that's
was
very
saying he was
useful.
a man of the people in Latin. It's like you
Mhm.
just undermined your own argument.
So I've been prejudiced against Latin, thanks to that twat.
Yes. I saw
Okay.
3 interviews with him and I can't stand him. It's just, oh.
But he doesn't speak Latin in the interview, I don't think. Might be better if he
What do you
did,
think of one?
actually.
No, he
but-
does. He does tend to occasionally speak a bit of Latin in the interviews.
Yeah, he's
He
a right
fucking
twat.
loves bringing it out every time he says
Oh.
anything. And it's apparently the shittest Latin you've ever heard either. So there we go. Even though he studied at university, but so it goes. I could fill literally 3 hours with how shit of a person Boris Johnson is and more.
Yeah.
Anyways, so 2d6 plus or minus an attribute.
Yeah.
I think
Probably
this is
reflexes
athletics.
on might, I guess.
So I'll go with
Yeah.
reflexes plus 2. I get a 9.
Nice.
So,
I see or touch something from a dream, just because I don't know what that means.
it's just a role playing thing basically. The downside is you're hanging on to the bridge, or you made it up enough to say that you're hanging on, but you're distracted. Your mind's thinking of something you saw in a dream. Maybe you dreamt this happened. Maybe a bird flew by and you've seen that bird 100 times. Or it's just a chance for you to role play interacting with the dream world, I guess.
How many harm can I take? Oh, I see. 9.
So the dream world is another world, but it is also the same place that we go to when we dream.
Astral. Yeah, it's the astral plane. It's the fairy realm. It's all that shit
Yeah.
shoved together.
I just listened to the Sandman audiobook, so the dreaming, as they would have called it in there. Okay, so we're in the dreaming. I see or touch something from a dream that I've previously had. Right, like.
Yep.
I'm just gonna say that it consumes time. It's tricky getting over this bridge because I don't grok. The dream thing seems like a good idea if I had like a defined dream, like if it was part of like your character kind of thing, like what is the recurring dream you have, or what dream has been puzzling you recently, or whatever, right? But at the moment, it's just I would just keep choosing that. I would break the system and just keep choosing that and being like, I dreamt about a bus. I see I touched something from a dream, and I think I wish there was a bus here. It'd take me over the bridge.
It's not an I wish thing. It's more just a chance to.
I get the idea. I'm just finding it too. It doesn't have the groundwork, I think, to make it meaty in the moment kind of thing. Because this is I am jumping over a bridge. Suddenly, I think about a dream I once had, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it just takes time.
Yes.
Tricky to get across the bridge.
And what is Sarah Struss doing?
Good question, because I can't have relevant magic that I can use.
Not really, no.
I do not have a relevant piece of equipment. I think I might invest future thought into. Let's see here. I would like to do.
You can run up the bridge. You can just try and hang on to it.
I think I need to run up the bridge because we need to catch this vampire, right? So yeah, I'm not good with this. I will curse in Latin, and and then I will try to use my reflexes to get off that bridge.
There is another option. Once a week, you can teleport to your sanctuary.
Yes, but that won't help me getting the teeth, right?
No, and also it'll just be you. you be leaving your cabal member in the lurch.
Wow. while I feel that Thaddeus, how do you pronounce yourself, my friend?
Thaddeus.
Thaddeus.
Yes.
Wow. Resisting the urge to say something about Latin. And while Thaddeus might be fine on his own over here, I feel that we were tasked to do this together. So I'm not teleporting back to my sanctuary. I am, in fact, putting out these dice. I haven't rolled them yet. I just wanted to make them. This is me making dice, and now this is me rolling dice.
Okay. Oh,
Yes, rolling dice is a lot better. I've got a 10.
you got 10, so regardless of... Yeah. Okay. So you're just trying to run. Yep, that's fine. You succeed. You run up the bridge. Thaddeus didn't react as quickly, so he's sort of hanging on and slowly making their way up the bridge that's fallen down against the side of the canyon.
You go on, Sir Astris. I'll catch up. Don't let him get away.
I will do my level best.
So, dramatic split of the party.
Well, I think what I will do actually is not... I will wait for Thaddeus because I think he's a lot better in a fight than me. I have a handgun, sure, but handguns and vampires don't usually mix well. But I can see something from his past life, the vampire's past life, that might help us, right?
That's generally in a conversation, and yeah, if they're unwilling to talk.
Yeah, but come on, Blake, if that's the only magic I can do. I mean, you said we're playing sorcerers, and what the magic we can do is like very, very basic. Like
the vampires chanting loudly and sort of summoning magic.
Mm-hmm.
You could, shoot him, throw a rock. You could do your silence thing. You could say something.
I think I will.
Thaddeus can do stuff, but he's climbing up the bridge.
Yeah. Okay, so I think I will do the silence thing because that will block his magic, won't it? To my understanding.
Yeah, it should do.
Okay. Then I'll try that to get him to stop making things until Thaddeus can come here and blast him.
I'm tempted to bring a handgun as well. I felt this in the other one as well. I was like, I'm just going to choose a handgun every single time because it's just so much better than the rest of them. Yeah. I'm going to take a sword.
Okay. Yeah. I thought that I wanted to leave the sword to you actually because you seemed the kind of person for it. But handgun was... Yeah, well. Anyway, silence. Please stop chanting, dear vampire. And I just roll with what do I roll?
Yeah, it'll either be charm, expertise, or wit. So you like a natural sorcerer? Did you spend a lot of time training? Are you just...
Okay, where would I see that? Actually?
Well, it's just whether you're using charm, expertise, or wits.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but you just said, how do I do magic? How do I
think he's just saying, like,
what stat?
How does which stat do you want to use for it?
I want to use wits, but what does that mean?
Yeah, so add 1 in that case. So 2d6 plus 1 for your silence.
Okay. Okay.
What of the moves are we like? I don't see a move that's like cast magic or anything.
Yeah,
I think.
right.
Yeah,
they're 3 separate moves. Marauders do performing, and Exarchs do writing.
Yeah. I just don't see them written. I don't see what the moves.
Oh, they're on the magic tab, writing magical style.
Ah.
There it is. Okay. And it says roll 2d6 plus expertise or charm.
Ah, okay. Well, it's expertise or charm in your case.
I will use expertise then, because I am pretty good with that. That means that I've got actually another 10. Yep.
Okay. So you silence the area around the vampire.
You
can see him throwing his arms around and jumping up and down, very frustrated because his magic didn't work, which gives Thaddeus time to get up off the cliff.
And I pull out my sword and I yell out a challenge, and nothing comes out at all because I'm in the silence. So
even if the silence is just around him, he can't hear it. So
exactly, yeah. I look very deflated as my, totally metal challenge to the vampire goes unheard.
All right. So we'll fast forward a bit. We'll say the vampire runs off, and then you sort of ask around at the next town, and you get some rumors that there might be a vampire in the area. So you're out at night. Things are quiet and misty. So you can just kind of look around. You could do one of your magic moves. You could try and use your sense magic, which is at the top of the magic tab, which is like meditating and trying to sense movement in the force and stuff. Or you can talk to people, see what they've seen.
I go talk to the people. What are the people of this world like?
Well, we'll say this is the... so this will be Zarek. We just say it's a modern world, but they use mostly geothermal instead of coal.
And are they aware of magic?
Yeah, the average person is more aware of undead and magic use.
Okay. It's not another Earth. It's essentially like what I want to make sure of, where I go, like, have you seen a vampire? And they go, what the fuck are you on about, mate?
No, I mean, they're alarmed because they know what it is.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Cool. I go to in this town and I ask around. There's a dangerous vampire here. We are from the Dreamlands, and we're hunting down a dangerous beast that poses a threat to your world and ours. Have you seen, a very pale creature with fangs and a cape?
Sounds like you're using charm. So
yes,
roll plus charm.
And I have I talk to everybody, so I get +1 to people rolls. So that's +2.
Oops, I need to update that. I should not.
That is a 12. So I achieve my action.
Okay. Yeah, there were the police, or whatever the other word would be, said there were some reports of one in the hills just west of town. They've warned people, not to go out at night on your own and keep away from the area of town.
Well, it's lucky that we have come across you, sentinels of this world. For now, we can lead you into battle against the vampire and rid this world of its pestilence. Join us, and I try and charm them into coming with us.
You rolled what, 12, didn't you? So sure,
yeah.
You get a couple of red shirts to come with you.
Yeah, local guides, right? Like,
yeah, they put on their red jumpers and they're ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
So you're sort of on the way there. Does anyone want to use sense magic or one of your magical abilities to see if you can sort of narrow down where this thing is? Does anyone have anything? No. Oh, you can use sense. Everyone can use sense magic if you want to give that a go.
You want to do that? Or
you're better at sense magic than me because it's +wits.
Okay, then I will try to talk to the ether and get it to tell me stuff in my mind.
Okay.
Okay. I roll with wits then.
Yep.
When I find the dice roller again. There it is. Wow, these dice
Right,
like
well
me.
Okay, so smash it. Pick 3. Well, one of them you can choose is to discover life force, motivations, and ectoplasm, because there'll be a lack of life force and ectoplasm in the area if there's vampires or undead. So sure.
Okay. Okay. Let's just let me just look at the thingy. Discover daylights. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
So
I can pick.
Yeah, you
I
pick
can
3.
pick
You use one of them for the life force, the bottom option. So that tells you about where the vampire is. The other 2, up to you.
I will try to discover any spells, ritual, or magic items in effect, because, I mean, that vampire was trying to cast ritual. Seems that he might know more and might protect himself with magic, and I don't really want to run afoul of whatever protection he has up.
The spell in effect is mist. The mist in the area is created by the vampire. It's not natural, because it's not that cold here.
Okay. Good to know. And I want to see if there's a portal near this place, in case everything goes pear-shaped and we understand that this is conclave of vampires and we have to get out quick.
No portals nearby. It's all quiet.
Damn.
What, you wanted things to go bad?
No, I wanted to have a portal near there so we could use it to get away.
If things go bad.
If things, yeah, you know.
Yeah.
Just saying. Well, I point out that the mist is not quite natural and that the vampire is over there.
The mist isn't natural.
No.
I use Unravel Magic, my magic move, to remove the mist that shrouds a vampire's movements.
Okay. And so performing roll on the magic tab. So you get, when you're doing it, it looks like martial arts or weapons carver. You're dancing, whatever sort of dance style you like.
With my sword, I am, doing a sort of, what's it called? Ang Lee style. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon sort of jumping around. Yes, exactly. And I roll plus reflexes, I think, with that. And I get a 12. Right, describe the magic. Whipping the sword around, it creates like tunnels of wind. It's like House of Flying Daggers. It just cuts through the mist, sending it spiraling off into the ether, clearing invisibility.
All right, done. Just want to look what different rules I can use here. Bugger it, let's get into a fight. The vampire was crouched about 20 feet away, and it's sort of another time, earthlings, and it goes to run off.
I could blast it. You could shoot it with your handgun.
Yeah, I think that's let's do both.
Yeah, I like I like the idea of like I summon a spell and then you just go boom, 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 boom.
All right, and you'll get
the
one
police
roll.
of this world go, oh God.
We'll get one roll and then we'll go into chase rules if it's still up and running. So go for it.
You want to go first? Should I go first?
No, I definitely want to see the gun. The firing of the gun. Yeah.
Okay, how do I fire? What do I need to use if I fire a gun?
Are you aiming or are you just kind of shooting in the general area?
I'm actually aiming, yes. I don't want to shoot a tree. Why would I? I mean, inflict harm. Attacking with weapons or martial arts with might or reflexes. Can I use reflexes? Because I'm shooting a gun.
Yeah.
And that doesn't seem very mighty.
No, you said you were aiming, so wits in this case.
Wits up, even better. Okay. Dice roller, where are you? Damn it. I don't know. That dice roller is weird. I mean, it definitely rolled the
Wow.
dice. I saw it, but
Bam, bam, bam. All right. You can just do damage, or you can do some damage and have it knocked down.
I think I want to do some damage and have it knocked down so that when the real blast comes, it's not on its feet.
Yeah.
And will
So you
eat
get it
a
in its
lot.
like upper leg, and it hits the ground because although
let
they're
me
dead, their
just look.
muscles
Let
still
me just
function in the
look
same way.
at my options. They suffer 4 harm, or choose one that fits the dog. Yeah, okay. So, oh, nice. Yeah, knocked up, whack. 2 harm and knocked down. That's fine.
Right.
Spider, like doing the creepy vampire, like crawling up a wall with its like scuttling backwards up the wall, right? And then just boom, just comes crashing down off the.
All right. Thetis, what are you doing?
I am going to blast it because that's what having a blast spell is for. It's blasting vampires, probably with fire, I think.
Okay.
Which again is, I suppose, another performance move.
Yep.
Which again is another crouching tiger, hidden dragon thing. This time, whipping the sword around until it builds up like a, like a red hot edge, and then suddenly slashes through the air, unleashing a column of fire towards him.
You're sharpening the sword with the atoms in the air, creating friction to throw fire.
Exactly, yeah. And that is an 8.
All right.
So an 8. Success, but it puts somebody else in danger, of course, as the fire, it does, I suppose, what is it? It's 6 damage to the vampire, blowing, like over him and wreathing him in flames, but smashing into that rocky edifice that he was climbing up. And there's a loud crack, and it begins to topple at the top, right? The shadow looming over Gunter and Hasberg, our local friendlies from the Scarlet Chain, who so called for their red chainmail.
Red chain modern,
shirts,
so it'll be red flat vest, but yeah. Okay, so there's some rocks falling towards Gunter. Is anyone going to help Gunter?
Sarastris? Will you save Gunter?
Of course I will.
I've just knocked a column of rock on top.
Yes. Okay.
Or you can let him get hurt and heal him.
I mean, yes, that's basically what I do best, right? Get people hurt and then heal them, because otherwise, what can I do? I can throw myself under the rock with Gunter, but it's probably not very useful to him.
I like that. I mean, like it comes down so fast, right, that it just takes Gunter out, and you hear Hasberg go, "No, Gunter!" And Thaddeus, "No, what have I done?" And then
Sarastris will step up to Gunter's body that lies prone on the ground, and will start drawing magical runes on Gunter's body, and then try to heal the poor Scarlet Chain.
I'm not going to make you roll for that. That's fine. So you're healing him. The vampire's trying to scuttle away. Thaddeus, what are you doing?
Wait, the vampire isn't dead.
No.
Okay.
6 damage. Okay. I run after it with my sword, I suppose, yelling, I can't risk using my magic in this precarious area again. I could kill everybody. Sarastris can't heal us all. What if Sarastris gets hurt? Then we're really screwed.
True.
So I attack the vampire with my sword.
So that's fine. I'll say you defeat the vampire. Okay. You and Hasberg's got a taser.
I'd like to roll the thing though to see how it works. I mean, we're playtesting combat, right? So
although most of this combat's from Season of Dreams, I know it works.
7.
Hasbu's flanking with a taser. You're coming at it with a sword, and you're doing inflict harm.
Yes. Reflexes, because it's actually about how fast I use my sword rather than so I'll go with 9. Both I and the enemy are hit.
Okay, so it bites you and it heals up the bullet wound that the thingy shot him, and then Hasbro tasers it and it's stunned because it's still got muscles
straight through the heart.
Yep.
Yeah. And I deal, I don't know how much damage. Deal
4.
4 harm. 4 harm. Okay.
But it's not moving, so we can just say you kill it. That's fine.
Yeah.
And you heal up Gunter. Okay. All right. So we won't do that. All right. Let's say it had a map with some coordinates to a Nexus, which is like a magical place that you can use to do magical effects, like big magical effects. And you travel there, but to use it, you've got to attune it. Where is that? So yeah, you would get some, since we're in the Pisces. Well, let's be really convenient and say you find the Pisces Nexus in a Pisces month and you're both Pisces. All right. So who's going to try and attune it? It's a charm roll.
You do it.
Are you sure? After what my magic unleashed before.
You're the pretty one. And this calls more for
However, if you're a Pisces and this is a Pisces, this Nexus is attuned to Pisces, and if you are a Pisces, you get +1 to the roll, so that would cancel out your -1 at this point.
Yes, but he's
give
still.
Me a 2.
But Thaddeus is still a lot prettier than I am, and I feel that magic, alas, is somewhat fickle when it comes to personality, and you have more of that than I do.
Even magic is superficial. God.
Yes, well,
All right.
I get a 8.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that gives you 7, 9 options.
Everything within 30 kilometers on both sides knows that I did it.
Okay.
Yeah, and I attune and successfully pull off a winning smile to anyone nearby, but I need to choose. I need to redirect which world this next. Is that what I'm going for here?
Yeah, you don't have to. It's up to you.
Yeah, but that's my intent here, right? Like we're trying to travel back to the Skeleton Guild and return its magical item to it. So yeah, I guess that's what I choose. I redirect this Nexus from pointing to wherever it is pointing to pointing towards Cryptlandia.
Okay.
Oh, is there a help move in this game, by the way?
I think so. I didn't put it in there, did I? No. Okay, yeah, it's assist someone.
Mm-hmm. Just not. I don't want to do that now. Just asking because ritual stuff like that seems like something you could do together with a bit of help.
Yeah.
That'd be quite cool actually to have it'd be a part of like the Cabal conceit, right? Is that like together we can work greater magic than we can do individually, perhaps something like that. That'd be really interesting. But yeah, having attuned it and not caring the people, the good people of Zarak know that we've attuned the Nexus, and
Yeah.
not caring on the other side either that they know that we do. In fact, everyone should know. Everyone should know what we did here.
I think some people, we are better off without their attention, but, well, anyway. Gunther, be safe, don't worry, your hair will fall out again. It's a side effect.
I mean,
it's a side effect of the healing.
The world you're on is actually modern, so they probably have like a break in their television transmission, and there's a camera shot of you guys doing this thing with the Nexus, because it says everybody knows. So it's like, oh well, that's how the magic would interpret that.
Oh, nice.
So you already got celebrity.
Well, exactly,
Breaking news. Strange sorcerer invokes Nexus. He's gone now.
Yeah, it's like 3 minutes of lots of chanting and doing weapon kata around these stones and stuff. All right, cool. All right. Just food for thought. I need to test out this chase move, so I'm going to say when you headed back to this Union of Skeleton in Cryptlandia area, one of the vampire's minions has taken over and run the show again, and you're chasing them. Are you chasing them on foot, on motorbike, in a car?
I have an Audi.
Maybe it's a desert road on a highway or something. Or it could be on foot through the streets. What do you want?
We have an Audi, so which clearly, when we first came here, we drove the Audi through a Nexus portal to the undead realm, and we've left it in with the skeleton valet, who, as we see the vampire race away on a motorcycle,
Yep.
like a bat out of hell, he screeches off down the highway, and the skeleton valet screeches the Audi to a halt and throws the keys over to Thraspis. Yeah.
Oh dear. Okay. All right. So you're pursuing someone. Roll plus wits. Are you driving, Sarastras?
I'm driving. I think Phidias is better at slinging blasts at that fleeing guy, and he maybe we can use the assist move here, because I think that's pretty distracting, right? If somebody's slinging magical blasts at you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, depending on how you roll, but yeah, we can sort of take that into account narratively.
Yeah.
But yeah, all right. So roll plus wits for your driving.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, well, it's an Audi. It's a 4.
Wow. Yeah, even if he was assisting, it doesn't pick it up that much. Okay. So
it's not that fast.
So he's getting further away. Yeah. All you know is you're chasing him, and he's increased his lead to get away. If you fail again, then he would have gotten away. But yeah, hopefully you'll roll better and do another roll.
Should I just do another roll, or do we have?
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless you want to use one of your magic moves or something while you're.
I don't have magic that is particularly useful, because my past life lore won't help me. I can heal the Audi, but I don't think that is actually helpful.
Could I shoot him with my magic?
Yeah.
I have a 100-meter range, so relatively close.
Mm-hmm. Shoot him.
Mm-hmm. With lightning this time. Why not?
Ooh. Nice.
Shit.
Oh.
6.
Mm. Okay,
Wow.
yeah, he was speeding out of range, so he was just past the end of the blast.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be nice and not have your car tire blowout or anything like that.
Mm.
Okay, you got one more chase roll. Otherwise, he's gone.
Okay. Should I roll?
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. Okay. Drive.
You yell, "Hold on!" and I can't
Yeah.
fire anymore because you really pedal to the metal.
Okay, I've rolled a 6, but I might have a wits of +1. I do.
do.
It's a 7. Woo!
Yeah, and situationally, he is probably going left and right a bit to avoid because he doesn't want him to line up the blast again. So, okay, 7.
Is that the list that I'm
Yeah.
supposed to pick from? Oh, okay. Sorry. Mixed success with 1 from above and 1 from below. I first above.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that doesn't work, does it?
Okay. So you figure out where they are going next. They are the vehicle again. Figure out why they are. Well, I think that we know an ally shows up. I have lots of allies that can show up, but I think right now I want them. I think they or their vehicle. Yeah, I'm choosing they and their vehicle get hurt, and we and our vehicle gets hurt because I think it's a collision.
Oh, okay. So you're weaving around rocks and stuff, and yeah, so they come off their bike. They're on a black Kawasaki Ninja, and they come off the bike and rolling on the ground. You get to skid to a stop without collecting another car. So your car is stopped, and maybe the back tire blew out. Their bike is seriously damaged, and they're 50 meters up the road after skidding on the bitumen. Okay, so your car is stopped. They're on the ground. I would probably say, since Sarastras was driving, Theodus, what are you doing?
I'm gonna tell him that he needs to go back and send a message to the other vampires. It's off limits. Scuttle back to your hole and don't come back.
So you're trying to intimidate him? Or?
Yeah, I guess, yeah. Which would, I suppose, be with charm, and I only get a +1 because I can't use my social thing for that. I roll snake eyes, so it doesn't go well at all. We've had lots of bad rolls.
It also says that your charmer doesn't work with intimidation.
But that's what I mean, yeah. So we're only a +1 anyways.
So, he liked that bike. You guys have really pissed him off. So he's running towards you. He's fixed on Sarastras, I think.
Well, I mean, maybe on me for threatening him, right? And then maybe I can, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's fair. All right, he's running straight at you. Sarastras, what are you doing? This creature is running really fast towards your comrade.
I'm doing 2 things. I'm hiding behind Sadius because, and I'm getting out my handgun because it's running towards us, and maybe I can shoot it.
Yeah, you can shoot it first if you want.
Yeah, I think I want that.
Before it gets into sword range?
Yes, and then I'll go out of sword range. because I'm a bit, yeah. Okay, so I'm rolling this with reflexes, wits,
Probably
gunfight.
reflexes, I think, at this point.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
he's running really fast and
Yeah.
you
Okay.
don't have a lot of...
I've got a 5. No, it changed. Look, it's then it's a 10.
Holy crap. All right, so
Yeah.
bang.
Yeah, vampire. I think I feel very confident with this. It's a water PPK. I think I feel like James Bond right now.
Oh,
Anyway.
dear. Are you just going for damage, or are you going for damage and knockdown, or?
I think for this, no, come on, damage and knockdown. Inflict harm, whack. I think they just suffer for harm, right? And then Thaddeus can take them out.
Yeah, it's still coming for him, but it has slowed him down. He's lost a lot of velocity. All right. It's sleeping for you, Thaddeus. What are you doing?
I avoid harm, I suppose. It seems like that's the trigger for this move.
Yep.
Avoiding attacks, as it says. Reflexes, of course. And I roll terribly again. I mark another XP. And I bite the full damage on it, and of the things.
Yeah, so it bites you for 4.
Okay. When it bit me before, did it do 4 damage to me?
No, only 2 that time, because I don't think I'm rolled as good.
Okay.
Actually, it's a bit
do you
boring,
roll
isn't
for
it?
the bad guys?
What, damage?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
It's just 4. Yeah, that's
We
right.
exchanged harm before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
if it hit me 4 both times, then I'm
no, it's sort of, no, you don't do 2 damage, but it looks at you, and you've got to roll avoid wounds again.
So has it hurt me already, or?
Yes.
How much?
But you need to roll avoid harm.
What does my armor do as well?
Nothing.
Nothing. Okay. Finally roll more than a 6. I got a 9.
Okay. So there's the other sort of compulsion of, maybe it's not so bad. Maybe we can reason with this thing, as opposed to before where you were, it's trying to kill me.
I don't follow the move, I'm afraid.
Basically, it was trying to charm you, but it only half worked. You don't see it as hostile as you did before, but obviously it's still there and it's bitten you.
Okay. I think I just look confused. I go.
Oh, that's fair, because it's trying to, Jedi mind trick you or whatever.
Yeah, I think I just look confused because I can't think of a way to express that.
Yeah. No, that's fair. Sarah Struss, are you going to do or say something?
Well, I mean, it just kind of hurt my friend here pretty bad, and I was staring at him, and I mean, okay, knowing stuff from its past life won't help me now. Silence is might be helpful with the cold gunfire, but then I should have done it before, so I think I'm gonna shoot it again.
Yeah, it's either that or you could heal Thaddeus, because he is pretty wounded.
Kill it.
Kill it. Okay. Kill it. Kill it with gunfire, I guess. Or try to. Let's see how that goes. Well, okay. It's a 9. Yeah, fine. So on a 7 to 9, I need to look at the move. Again, inflict harm.
Yeah.
Moderate success. Both you and your enemy hit. Yeah, I think both me and my enemy hit. I feel that's the reason why I shoot it, and maybe it kind of bites me.
Okay, so it
or bites Thaddeus again.
It bites. He goes to bite Thetis, and he would have 2 points of damage because it's not attacking you; it's attacking him. So,
Sorry.
all right. So you kill it. He goes down from wounds, and then you bandage him. That's fine. He's not dead. We can presume you've all got first aid and stuff. All right. Cool bananas.
I don't need first aid. I can't do magic.
Yeah, but then you've got to roll, and other things might happen, whereas you can just stop him bleeding out without rolling.
What? I'm a sorcerer. Hello? I'm a
Yeah.
sorcerer.
All right, you want to roll healing? Go for it.
I want to roll for healing, and I will paint magical symbols on your forehead and
In
on
snot.
your
No.
hands. No, it's magic. It's of significance in magic, and then I will speak some words, and they will be Latin. I am sorry. And maybe we will see how that goes now. And I'm rolling this with what again? Experience.
Expertise or charm?
Expertise. I use
Probably
expertise.
sounds like.
Expertise. Yeah. Expertise is fine. I'm good with expertise. Maybe I should roll both dice. Well, one of them is a 4, so yeah. Wow, it's a 12.
Oh, no. All right, bang.
Bang! You
That
are
is
healed, my friend. You get
6 points. So you're
6
fully
points.
healed. You look all clean. Your hair's been juiced up. You're looking
Nice.
good.
Nice.
Yeah. Wow.
Teeth are sparkly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If you have contracted lycanthropy, though, I'm sorry, I can't heal that. But I can heal
vampire was it?
vampirism. Huh? No, I can heal vampirism, so you're good in that account.
Okay. Whew.
That's cool. All right. So as I thought, it generally works, but it's I just need to look at how I present the information and stuff. All right.
Okay.
Yeah, it would be. It feels as though like, we did a kind of like chase down the enemy kind of setup, right?
Yeah.
But like, it seems as though there's quite a like the tone, like the concept almost is around these like nexuses, right? Like the interactions between these realities and stuff like that. And I'm curious how to make that work in play, that kind of like fiddling around with magic and testing the ether and like resolving the problem with the nexus that's causing bad karma to flow into whatever area, or being sorcerers beyond like being casters, kind of, like wizards.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
thing,
that like Nexus you were tuned before. Usually, like a bad guy gets control of the Nexus, points it at a planet, and something goes wrong. Maybe the dead aren't resting; they come back as undead or whatever, or magnetism goes to shit or whatever. There's some sort of anomaly that causes you guys to investigate, and you fix the problem. You track down the Nexus or whatever, and you attune it to do something good or not, depending on whoever you
which
are.
feels though like the magical investigator thing that we were talking about at the start. Whereas like the rescue like campaign frame kind of thing, right? Like it's about trying to save humanity by using the weird magical planes and things. So
but you can do that with a Nexus as well. Like you can repair the environment or technology with the Nexus. It's up to you which choice you take with it.
I guess though that like in PBTA games, like the moves really like focus you towards what actions you're going to take in that game, right? Like in Urban Shadows, it's I go and call upon a contact, I hit the streets kind of thing, or so like not having the moves for the Nexus. And I know that they're there now, but I still see them as it might just be the way that we've approached this. I see them as like a feature within a sort of Dungeon World-esque game rather than like the core concept of the game, if that makes sense, Because if the like the faction moves in Urban Shadows, to go back to that example, really make you, or the labels moves in Masks make you think about like that directs you towards doing that kind of thing, right? Whereas this is more kind of open Dungeon World-esque kind of
So this is more sandbox presented at the moment rather than thing. Yeah.
And we'll almost automatically gravitate towards the magical investigator angle because that's they're problem solving moves, right? Like Dungeons and Dragons always ends up with combat and like dungeon crawling because that's what the whole game pushes you towards.
Yeah.
And I can, so that's just my like thoughts after playing a session and looking at the rules and everything, and based on what we were saying at the start.
Yeah, well, that's.
So I just wanted to get all that out there while I was like
able
to
I get what you mean,
conceive it,
yeah,
because I would find it very hard to articulate later on, basically.
No, that's fine. As I said, I'm trying to balance between the uber niche each game of one specific thing doing one specific thing and the other opposite, which is Mage the Awakening of this game can do everything. I'm trying to aim more in the middle. But
yeah, speaking about that, considering that this is a game about sorcerers, I did not have very much stuff I could do with my magic, actually. I feel that these magic moves that you put out there, they're too restricted. They might be more used, they might be more broadened out. I mean, okay, doing a magical blast, that is fine. You can use that in a variety of ways. But looking at people's past lives and then you have to talk to them while you're doing it and do a writing exercise while you're talking to them to do it, I mean, that seems that is a very narrow window of opportunity when you can use that,
when it's the only magic that you can essentially do beyond sense magic and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, sense magic anybody can do, and I like that. That is great. That is a move, and I like the moves that I like the way the move is written. That seems very that seems very fitting for a game like this, that everybody can do that. And and I mean, okay, blast and unravel magic, they are both pretty useful, I think, and they were both used. I did not get to use, I mean, healing, yeah, okay, that's also something that you always want to have, but it's actually, healing is kind of a passive thing. You do it when somebody gets hurt. It's not something you can proactively do to advance the story. Something you can do to overcome something that has happened in the story, and
I guess if there are more negotiation and chatting with NPCs and that, then your allies and past life lore would be more useful. So to some extent, because of what we did today. But yeah,
I like the idea of a use magic move. Like I think that's what like a broader magical way of interacting with that aspect. Because I was almost thinking that, like,
well, I didn't want it to be used too much like Monster of the Week, where it's the I win button. Whatever happens, use magic. It's like,
I never really find it that the use magic, the I win button in Monster of the Week. I find it a very limited tool, generally speaking.
Because you usually have to usually uses time and resources and stuff like that. Because the GM can always tell you, nope, you can't do it on the fly, can't do it off the cuff.
And by default, when it says you can inflict one harm magical, and it's like, well, if you try and just use magic to kill everything, then people just maybe go a bit far on that, do one thing beyond human limitation. But I usually like shrink that right down to like the tiniest possible thing it could be, essentially, Whereas in this, I feel like the scope could be quite a bit bigger because of the more, we're literally walking through alternate dimensions and we are sorcerers kind of stuff. The powers of the cosmos are our fingers almost kind of stuff. Even if in a very specific, limited way. But I think that would help because, the magic and the thing still felt like tools to do mundane actions almost. Do you know? Run, climb over a bridge, do this kind of stuff. I really like the idea of the Cabal being a bigger. I like the idea of playing like planeswalking, like dream walking sorcerers who have that kind of double life and intrinsic world sort of thing.
I wanted a bigger the sorcerer group because it's too Hollywood to say, you three are the ones that can save the universe. Oh, piss off. The people around you are going to get drawn into that world. So have them there from the start, but also it suits the Gauntlet playstyle of the people in the first game are not in the second or the fourth or the eighth. Then you have people drop in and out. So that kind of fits with that as well.
Yeah, but you still need to build up a cabal and a home base for the cabal, because if it's an important part of your game, it needs to have some sort of mechanical weight, right? You have in Ars Magica, you have the Covenant that has stats and that has things that are there. In Blades in the Dark, you have the crew. So in this game, I think you should have some sort of thing for the cabal, because that is also something for the GM to use to put some pressure on the characters, because hey, you did this thing and now your cabal's in hot water.
The Nexus portal in our cabal's base is ruptured or whatever, right? And we have to stabilize it.
Right.
Because just in terms of the gauntlet, like the open table style, like the thing we chose at the start that wasn't the cabal, I forget the terminology you use, like Nexus hook. Agency. The group, the group hook is the any player that comes in can be from the Nexus agency or from the whatever, right? Like and then the cabal is like if we're going to have the cabal as a smaller unit within that, I agree that it needs to be more like evocative and like a character in itself almost, like
Because normally you would create contacts, which one of them might be a fairy, one of them might be a werewolf or whatever.
But I think that definitely like plays into that. That's who your group kind of.
But that's kind of how you interact with the setting as well. Whereas that could be replaced or not by a crew sheet where you can. I guess it's a bit like Monster Hearts, where you define some of the other classmates at the start.
On the crew sheet in Blades, you choose an ally and an expert and an enemy, right? Like I think it. Yeah,
if I did that, then the whole Your Cabal section would be on the crew sheet, because it is something for all of you, not just per character.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
I like the idea of choosing a classroom for the NPC members of the Cabal. If you're playing this in a longer game, you want to have maybe some of them at least to know who they are, because to avoid the whole and then what Steven was that again type of thing, and nobody likes Dave. Okay, but that kind of stuff comes kind of naturally, and then you want to see where it's set, because right now that feels like I did not know anything about the world where Thaddeus and Sarastros actually came from. I mean, Latin was apparently a thing, but that's it.
I mean, it was our world.
But, it was our world, but other than that, are we living in a tower? Are we living in a skyscraper? Are we living in a cottage?
Yeah,
what's
are we and we just dream about these things, and we have no. Maybe it's all in our heads, right? Like,
possibly.
Yeah, but, we would flesh that out more longer game. Like for next arc, you would say the sanctuary. What is it? Is it an extra dimensional pocket? Is it a bookshop on 3rd Street or whatever? But it's just a playtest. So your Audi is your sanctuary.
No, it's the
why not?
It's the Audi retailer. You know, we own an Audi garage.
Oh God, I'm getting a car rental tomorrow, and if it's an Audi, I'll let you know.
Yeah. Well, I can have a look at either doing a crew sheet or cabal sheet or fleshing out the contacts so that one of them is a cabal mate or something. I can get that, and that way you can assign them tasks or whatever.
Yeah, that's also a good idea to have these NPC cabals as contacts for the characters.
Yeah, I can look at the magic moves and see if I can make some of them a bit more broad. Because I was like, when you had silence, I was like, I wonder if silence could be used to stop an engine, and I thought
that could be like deadening, right? Like
like the critical reaction of turning fuel mixing one of those fuel mixers with oxygen and stuff. Like if Silence could stuff that up somehow, so I can kind of see that.
Well, yeah, I think at that point you're saying like elemental change, or like there are broader like you could use the moves in a similar way if you just broaden their terminology a bit more, right?
Yeah.
Like Silence example is nullification of energy, right? Which is different than unraveling magic, because I could only unravel magic, whereas you could nullify like an actual just normal fire or
A chemical reaction,
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
It's physics and chemistry, yeah. Okay.
And like past life lore, for example, you can learn 3 things from the past life of the target. Like, what about like you can learn 3 things from the past life of the target, and that could be yourself.
Ooh, nice.
There's
Yeah.
that alternate weirdness move in Monster of the Week
Yeah.
where it's like consult your past lives, right?
Yeah.
And it's like,
Yeah. I also would just go with use that. You don't have to have a conversation with them. Why would you have to have a conversation with them? It's magic, right? You can see their past lives. That's useful even in a situation like we encountered at first. I don't know, might not have been very useful, but
it gives you information that you can choose to do stuff with, as opposed, it doesn't mechanically in itself like overcome the situation, right? Like
but you could maybe learn information, get +1 forward if you act on this information. Like in the past life, this vampire was actually I don't know, a belly dancer for some sultan's wife or something, and then you can try to use that for however you could.
And his leg never healed even before he became a vampire, so like he's got walks with a limp now or whatever.
All right, that's food for thought. But that's why I'm recording this, so I can have a good think about it. And because I mean, there's dozens of modern supernatural games out there. I know this generally works. I just want to tweak it so that it works well and people get excited about playing it. And
I like the idea of jumping between worlds, and everybody is a sorcerer and can do magic and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, I'm partial to having cabals of wizards sitting together and talking about magic a lot.
How long has your Magic game been going now?
And I think in somewhere, let me think, we started in, I think, early 93. So
holy shit.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been playing since '89, but none of them have been longer than like 15 sessions. I think was longest.
Oh wow. Okay. I mean, I tend to have long games. Our Dresden Files games also, I think, been running for 10 years now. Has to be almost.
Yeah. Well, the first 20 years, it was a lot of them were basically guys that still lived at home with their parents, and they brought their work or frustrations with them. And within 4 to 5 sessions, they'd be arguing in player and fighting in character. And a lot of campaigns tanked from that. And it's like, shit, here we go again.
Was always lucky finding those people, because most of them also lived with their parents, but somehow they never were so that toxic. They just were nice. And that one guy still, I kind of lives with his mom, but now he takes care of her instead of the other way around.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I can't imagine playing a game for that long. It seems incredible, but it's impressive.
Yeah, it's a bit like going into Star Wars with all that canon, and like that it's just 7 people know about this game. But you can say like, wait, back then when we were fighting these Jinn summoners, do you remember the guy with the squeaky magic items?
Oh wow! The longest campaign I've played is 2 years, I think, and it was all just noodling around in Curse of Strahd, frankly. Just quite slow playing at some points. Yeah.
We've been slow playing a lot, though.
Yeah. I imagine it's not been every week for since 1993.
No, we play on the weekends, and we play maybe 6 weekends a year at max. So, So it's not
Interesting.
that much. We don't play that much. If we meet up, we meet on Easter. That's 4 days, and between this 27th and New Year's Eve. So that's a bit. Yeah, but not nowadays. We just start somewhere maybe. I mean, thing is, we actually managed the transfer to online gaming quite well, but kind of miss it. Kind of miss hanging with these guys.
Yeah.
And we were going to do this year, but
one thing I missed was back in the 90s. I mean, the campaigns didn't last long, but the games would be 6 to 12 hours on a Saturday, where we'll get a lot of stuff done.
Yeah.
Just because you're all in the zone and you just keep going and just keep going. It's like, oh. And then
See, I've never really had that. Like the long games for me are the games where like no, it's just dragging out, and I just want, you know, like it's because people aren't paying attention and things like that. I find I need to keep it to 3 hours, or everyone just starts to turn off for the most part. Some rare exceptions, you know. But I've also played around work and mostly played with the Gauntlet or at game clubs, game places, you know. So I realize that we've completely digressed from our feedback on Blake's game.
We were really quite early 20s. You have a different level of energy.
Yeah.
Very different. But, yeah, that's right. Much food for thought.
Yeah, just because I was thinking back, distinguishing it from the other games, the jumping from world to world and doing all the magic and things. I like that idea a lot, and like as a core theme, it's great. But if you go to the other worlds and you do the same things as like a dungeon world, then you're back in. You're just doing the thing you were trying to get away from in different settings, rather than like I think that's my sort of core thought about the whole thing. But yeah, cool. So you're running for a few more of these, Blake?
You got another one tomorrow, and then 2 weeks after that. I don't think many people signed up for them, but that's all right.
Yeah, I'm sorry I dropped out of tomorrow's one. I see that David didn't.
You know, this happens. Just with what you two have said today, you've given me like 2 weeks worth of work to just review everything I've done.
Yeah, noodling as well, man.
Documents, and now I've got to. But that's cool. This is to get it up to scratch, you know.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to this whole playtesting thing that they're talking about on the Gauntlet. Like, yeah. Because I've really enjoyed playtesting.
Yeah, playtesting con was the thought, right? Weekend of everybody brings their game and throws it.
I don't think a lot of people set up sessions yet. So, but whether that's just part of
it's
reality now, or people don't know what they're doing in 2 months' time. It's
yeah, well, if it's, I don't know, if you get the plan, say, hey, we will do this thing in April. I don't know. I have no idea. We would just throw it out there, and a lot of people have their projects lying around, stuff they have been noodling with, but never already got somewhere near a table, and everybody has some project. Not everybody, but a lot of people have projects lying around that are just fallow, and that might just need a playtest or two to see if there is even a thing.
Oh, I'm hoping to get Alan back onto Jotunraid at some point.
He's been talking about that.
Yeah, last played in January. I was looking at my calendar.
Wow. Well, but I think the characters we had, we won't play again because they're.
No, I played a Christian Knight in the last game I played.
Oh, nice.
It was awful playing as a Christian Knight.
Oh no!
It was way harder than playing as Blackburn, because Blackburn would just tell everyone to sod off and murder them if they didn't do it, you know. Whereas I had to be very pious and nice in a world of pagans and a cruel god. So yeah, really, really enjoyable, but a struggle.
One thing I had considered regarding being useful with moves and stuff is if I have a crew tab or cabal tab or whatever, and therefore a sanctuary move would therefore be the group thing as a replacement. The ones that used to have sanctuary could have blast, but it's like a verbal or concept blast. So like you might refer them to memes or debate stuff or It's like a non-physical attack, but
Mhm.
it's it's debating or memes or rap or something. Obviously, they've got to have a brain to have it an effect on, but
Mhm.
it changes their position or something instead of doing damage.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
think the more open I think if you make a few of the magic moves quite open to interpretation, right, then it creates much more evocative magic than
Yeah.
like fairly limited and specific. Because if you can only do 2 magical things, it's like I can fire firebolts and I can make everyone aware of a sense, smell, sound, or sight for 2 miles. It's a bit of an odd combination. You know, you feel
Yeah.
like a penknife with only 2 things on it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And the whole I can breathe underwater and also have gills. That is very limited, I think, and
Yeah.
that will get used in play because
Yeah, I wanted to make it like a 3D real world rather than just
Mhm.
usual 2D sort of stuff. But I get what you mean. If one person can do it, what are the others doing while they're underwater? It's the same problem you had in Shadowrun, that while someone's in the Matrix, everyone else is
Yeah.
doing nothing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this breathe underwater, of course, you could use on other people, right? Couldn't you? I don't know. Says,
Yeah, that's debatable.
breathe
But
underwater. You can hold
yeah,
your breath indefinitely underwater. You
it's
have
just
no
you.
Well,
gills.
But
it's debatable because currently that's how you've phrased the move and the thing, right? If it's magic, it's however you phrase it. It's
yeah, I think that's a personal
your
move
breath
though,
carries
so
on.
it's just you. But yeah, it's I can just look at all of them anyway. That's right.
And I think that we had that with one of the OSR games where the spells that people had were just one word. No, that's Trophy that does that.
Yeah,
You have just one word, and the rest is open to interpretation. And I like that quite a lot because you get uses from that you mostly are not expecting.
Mm. And I mean, like in Trophy, right? The magic comes at such a cost that it's never really that great a thing that you're using this magic.
yeah. I'm not. Well, the whole bad things happen when you use magic. That's kind of a Christian undertone that I don't want. So yeah, I didn't want that option because initially I looked at doing it in the trophy system. Then I'm like, I don't want that.
No,
But
it's not.
I don't
I'm
want
not
the
saying it
mage.
should go back, but it should go bad. But or suggesting the Trophy would be a good fit for this. But just the way it uses those rituals and the way that they
More
are very
broader.
open
Yeah,
to.
and I only mean the consequences. Kind of like
Mhm.
it helps make magic impressive.
Mhm.
You know, because it gives you a stake rather than it just being like I wave my fingers and
Mhm.
I describe some general stuff that happens. Like having a kind of stake makes you like, oh shit, magic kind of thing, you know?
Mhm. Yeah. Also, I thought about this dream thing that you had on your 7 to 9 thing, where Will said, "Well, that's kind of a bit weak sauce," and you said, "No, it's meant to be evocative." Why not make that a general question if somebody uses a move like that? So that it's not like, okay, you use that and then you have to say this, but instead you can always, as a GM, say, okay, right now you remember something of a dream. What is it? What helps you here? Just as a
Well,
flavor for the spell, right?
yeah,
Not
and obviously if he had a dream about a magical bus that always rescues him at the last minute or whatever, then I can use that in the story later on where it's a new bus driver and they're driving the bus towards you or something, because you're in the dream
yeah.
world and it goes wrong. But Shane, one of the things she said was they didn't like that players choose the 7 to 9 option. They prefer games where the keeper chooses that, and I'm like,
Oh,
ooh, that's a very different
yeah.
balance of responsibilities.
Yeah. Yeah, that's different. If the keeper gets to say, yeah, that reminds you of something you saw in a dream, and in what way, what was it, and in what way is that ominous right now?
Well, a lot
Yeah,
of the early
what does
PBTA
that set
games,
up?
the player chooses the 7 to 9 option, but in some of the more recent ones, like Between, it's the keeper that chooses the 7 to 9. And so, yeah.
I'm not generally a fan of that, actually, but
I
I got
quite like it. I really like the ones where it's like you get one and the keeper gets one.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
I love
yeah.
that.
Mhm.
Even though I couldn't spend it on Bounty of the Week, for example, because yeah.
Oh, oh.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Sure. That's cool.
Yeah.
Much food for
Mhm.
thought. I will in the